Okay, so it would appear we're live. Haven't done this for a couple of months, so hopefully I don't screw things up. If anyone is watching, can you comment if you can see me and hear me? I'm assuming it's okay. And I guess regardless, if people want to watch back on the replay, it's all good. All right, just checking the chat before I start ranting. So we have some people watching. We have Jody, hello there. Bjorn, howdy. Well, he's saying howdy to Jody, but howdy Bjorn. Kieran Ball, hello there. 80s and Star Wars guy, hello there. So I see we have I think it's eight people watching. Oh, there's Biker from Edinburgh. Tom is live. Hey, so now we've got 13 people. So, and Kieran's telling me I sound great. Oh, there's Rich. Hey there. And again, thank you so much. So we're all good. So basically, I want to start talking about Hasbro, and I'm not going to be discussing anything about their reveals today because, quite frankly, that stuff is of no interest to me, but I'm sure you all knew that anyway. What has really, really pissed me off relates to the Mandalorian Retro Collection. So, as I'm sure you're all aware, these were announced back in October of last year, and when they were announced, I jumped straight on to Entertainment Earth to place a pre-order. And at the time, they said pre-order is accepted. Expected shipment date is May of this year. I thought, fair enough. So we get to May of this year, and I'm seeing that these figures are showing up in stores across Europe and especially in the UK. And I believe it was Asda UK that had actually discounted those by 25%. So these were readily available in the UK, and I still didn't have mine. So I checked on my Entertainment Earth account, and it said pre-order expected to come in July. So they changed the release date, and it kind of pissed me off because my intention was to get these and do an unboxing and review of these because, as I'm sure you're all aware, I don't really collect much modern stuff. So for me, this is a rare chance to do a review on a new product. But given that there were a ton of reviews already done, there was no point in me doing an additional review months after the fact. So I said, okay, fair enough. I'm going to get the figures. I can wait. So a couple weeks back, people were talking online that they had began receiving notices from Entertainment Earth that their item had been shipped. So I thought, very good, mine will be coming pretty soon. So went back into my Entertainment Earth account to check the status of my pre-order. Oops, I just see a super chat. I need to highlight that. This is from Jody. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. Just to go back to what I was saying. So I went to check my Entertainment Earth account, and my pre-order had completely vanished. It was gone. And I thought that's a bit strange. So I sent an email to Entertainment Earth asking why it was that my pre-order had vanished and did not get a response. So went back to it a couple days ago and just double checked, and my pre-order was not there. And they had the option to chat with a live agent. So I took that option and began chatting, and virtually, of course. And I said, what's going on? This was pre-ordered back in October. It's now not showing. And he wrote back and said, well, yeah, we canceled your pre-order. And I said, well, why did you do that? He said, because we attempted to charge your bank card and it was declined 3 times. And we wrote to you on 3 occasions asking you to provide us with an updated payment source. And I said, well, trust me, I did not get your emails because obviously if I had, I would have responded immediately and made alternative payments. And I said, when did you send me these emails? And he gave me a bunch of dates, I think middle of May. I as to the dates those emails were sent, and I double checked. I did not receive any emails. So I said to him, look, I don't know what's going on here. Rest assured, I have the money. Believe me. I want to place the order again. He says, you can't. I says, why not? Because it's sold out. And I said, so you're telling me that you've taken it upon yourself to cancel my pre-order, and now I'm unable to have that pre-order honored? He goes, yeah, basically. So I said, fine, F off. And that was the end of that. So I thought, I don't understand this business of him saying they sent me emails. So I dug deep into my spam folder, and lo and behold, there were the 3 emails from Entertainment Earth. And here's what happened. This is partly my fault, but not really. Let me explain. So around about March of this year, my bank had sent me a new debit card. And given that I had placed this pre-order back in October, and I knew they weren't being released until May, it never occurred to me that Entertainment Earth had the old debit card details. Now, this is where I'm getting really pissed off, because those 3 emails from Entertainment Earth were pretty important emails relating to an order I had placed. And given that when I placed the order initially, I got email confirmations telling me, yes, we've received your pre-order, blah, blah, blah. Now, pretty much every day, I get emails from Entertainment Earth straight into the inbox with adverts offering me the latest crap they have for sale. Those emails arrive with no issue. And yet, the emails that were of pretty high importance go into the spam folder. So I don't know how they're sending them, but regardless, they should have given me a call. Now, on the subject of the bank card being declined because it was now an expired card that I provided them with, I'm just wondering if there are people out there who place pre-orders and, like me, forget they've done so, and then get a shock down the line when their bank cards are charged for those pre-orders and they didn't have enough funds in the account, if that's sending them overdrawn and whatnot. But the point I'm trying to get across is that this business of pre-ordering 6-7 months in advance is absolute BS. And, like I said, I was told pretty abruptly by Entertainment Earth, too bad, you can't get these figures. So I thought to myself, well, all's not lost, because Anthony Whitehead very kindly sent me 2 of the figures. It was IG-11 and the Ugnaught Queel. So I thought, fair enough, I'll just go and individually buy the rest of the figures I need. So Entertainment Earth did have individual figures, although they didn't have a full case. That was sold out, of course. But Cara Dune was not available. That was completely sold out as an individual figure. So I thought, where else can you buy things from? And I'd never used Big Bad Toy Store before, so I went onto their website and looked for the individual figures, and again, everything except Cara Dune available. But they do have the full case, or in fact, it's not a full case they're doing the 7 figures. That was available, so went in there and pre-ordered from them, and they're saying they have a release date of June, but as of today, there's no update to that. But I am really getting sick and tired of this pre-order business, because this is now the 3rd wave of retro collection, and it's the 3rd time I've had difficulties in obtaining these damned figures. First wave, wave 1, was the Target exclusive, and for that, I took a trip out to the Poconos in Pennsylvania, where I used to live, and we stayed the night in the hotel. And I believe the pre-orders, or the online, in fact, there was no pre-order, if I remember rightly. It was going to be online orders and in-store purchases on possibly May 12, I believe it was. So on May 12 at midnight, I'm busy on my phone on Target.com, constantly refreshing, and it kept on saying, for sale on May 12, I believe. So I kept refreshing until about maybe 2 in the morning, and there was no update. I thought, screw it. So I went to bed, went to sleep, woke up, refreshed to see everything was sold out. So then after breakfast, we went into the actual Target store, and of course there was nothing for sale there. And it ended up, I didn't get wave one until, I believe, I'm going to say October or November of that year. I eventually got them, so there was no big deal there. Wave two was another farce, the Empire Strikes Back wave with Walmart, I think it was able to pre-order everything I wanted except Boba Fett. And had it not been for the kind donation, I would still to this day not have a Boba Fett retro collection figure. It's just, it's remarkable how Hasbro continues to make these things so difficult to purchase. And as I've just mentioned, the Wave 3 thing, putting my hand up to say, yes, I screwed up in that I didn't update my bank ATM number with Entertainment Earth. However, in my defense, when I got the new card in March, figures that were coming out in a few more months was not at the top of my list of priorities. And quite frankly, the way I was spoken to or typed to by the twat at Entertainment Earth has put me right off them. So I will not be using them again for anything. So I guess let me just try and get through some of these comments before I go into the next topic. It's all just stuff saying hello. There's Sean Solo. There's Tez. Hey, Tez. Sean Solo. And there's Jody. Tez, here we go. Let me see. It's good to see Dean has survived. Oh, my God. I don't know how many people watched that stream. I watched it back in absolute horror. I'm guessing it was pretty obvious that as the stream progressed, so did my state of drunkenness. I haven't been drinking at all lately, and that was my first drink since New Year's Day, and it certainly creeped up on me, and I was appalled towards the end. You could see me visibly slurring my words. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I hope to do it again. This is not a joke, but if people still wrote letters, this sort of cock-up wouldn't happen. Well, yeah, that's it. Because exactly. If they had sent me a letter saying, hey, we've tried to charge you, but it's been declined, I would have got back to them immediately. Also, a phone call would have solved the whole issue. But again, my point of frustration is that I get emails almost daily from Entertainment Earth selling me the latest crap. But when it comes to important stuff, it goes to the spam folder. Unbelievable. Commander Cody Fucker says, this shit only happens in America. I don't know. But again, what I don't understand is how it was that the UK got enough Wave 3 retro collection that Asda decided to put them on sale while people in America were still waiting for them. It's incredible. It really is. And hopefully someone can comment if they've ever been stung by a pre-order. And what I mean by that is you've placed a pre-order, forgot you placed it, then your bank gets charged and you didn't have enough money in the account. If it sent you into overdraft, if you got bank charges on top of that, again, make the damn product, send it out to stores, and then tell us, hey, come buy this. This whole pre-order thing is really, really pissing me off. And I've got more to get to on the subject of pre-orders, but let me just go through the rest of the comments quickly. Sean Solo saying, hi, that's funny. I'll have to watch that whole stream. Oh, yeah, I mean, by all means, watch it, but it's absolute cringy from my perspective. I was getting to the point where, you know, it's like the, well, let me tell you. I was horrible, horrible drunk, but a lot of fun, though. So that was the main thing. Renegade Biker, hey, how are things going? Finally got Flint and Lady Jane from Hasbro Pulse, but the box was crumpled. Well, yeah, that's another problem with ordering online. Cool display. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jody. The world nowadays live on email. The only people who call are scammers now. Yeah, that's pretty true as well. Loved it, Dean. Didn't have tea in my mug either. Welcome back. I have several pre-orders on a card that's going to expire soon. Going to suck waiting for. Yeah, and that's the thing. Okay, you could understand if it was a pre-order coming out next week. That's very much fresh in your mind, and if you do get a new bank card, you'll know to update that. But like I said, it was months ago that I placed the pre-order, and when I got the replacement ATM card, it wasn't on my mind that I'd have to update Entertainment Earth. I suggest Star Action figures if that's in the US. I don't believe it is. Bjorn is saying, thanks for reminding me. Yeah, pre-order. I'm still waiting for an Origins Clamp Champ that I ordered 3 months ago, and they took the money for that. Now, that's even worse. At least in the case of Entertainment Earth, they don't actually charge until the item is about to ship. This business of taking your money and them holding your money hostage until such times as the product is released is not at all cool either. David World Ties, nice to see you again. Thank you. We got Jody. The only thing you need to be careful with of Big Bad Toy Store is that if you use Pile of Loot, there's a certain time after the item has been released, you have to check out that Pile of Loot. Oh yeah, I did see that, but because this was just like a one-off order for me, I didn't look into their site any further. So I think we're up to date there. So next rant topic is eBay. Now, I do a lot of selling on eBay, and I have had a lot of issues with arseholes using Buy It Now or winning auctions and just not paying. I had one that really, really did piss me off, and it's got a slightly funny ending to it, but at the time I was not amused. So I had a listing for 4 brand new from the 80s items, brand new sealed in box, all of the same item, and it even came with the original shipping carton, which did contain 6 items, but I was selling 4 along with the original shipping carton. And it was for a rather large amount. It was for $1,250 US. So I get the notification, your item is sold. And then a second later, I get the notification, the buyer has paid, please now ship the item. So I'm thinking, lovely jubbly, I'm quids in here. So as I'm about to print the shipping label, I get another email from eBay saying the buyer has requested a cancellation. And I thought, hell no. And in fact, it said, buyer has requested cancellation, reason, buyer made a mistake. And I thought, no, there's no mistake here. So I said no to the cancellation. I thought, screw that. And I was about to proceed with printing the label. And then it occurred to me, if I do end up sending this, he's going to complain to eBay he's going to make something up. And eBay will take his side. He'll get to probably keep the item and I'll lose the money. Or in worst case scenario, he might purposely damage the item, send them back, and eBay gives him his money back. I thought, oh, better not do that. So I wrote back and said, what do you mean you made a mistake? He writes back, oh, I thought it was for a full case of 6. It's only for 4, and it's not worth the money I paid. And I wrote back and said, wait a minute. It says in the title of the description, 4, numerically and alphabetically, 4 and 4. The pictures show 4 items. The description says in bold, this listing is for 4. I said, what do you mean you made a mistake? He writes back, look, if it was for 6, I would go through with the sale. Because it's only for 4, I need to cancel. And I said, this is not a reason to cancel. You did not read the listing properly. You didn't look at the pictures properly. Why should I refund you? He says, look, I'll be honest. If this arrives at my house, my wife will kill me. So there you have someone jumping the gun, not thinking it through, and having buyer's remorse. Now, as a result of this, because I denied the cancellation, the only way for him to get out of it was for me to physically refund the money, which I did. But in doing so, I somehow lost 30 cents. Now, yes, not a big deal, but it's a principle thing here. Why should I be out 30 cents because this jackass, one, couldn't read, and two, was scared of his wife? So that really did piss me off. And as yet, this item still hasn't sold, although there are 10 watchers. Now, another thing that's happened this past week, I had 2 items sell on Monday. One was a buy it now, and this person hasn't paid yet. And the other was an auction, which I'm concerned about because I've been looking at the listing. The buyer is from Mexico, and he has a pretty poor feedback score. I'm thinking, great, I'm going to be losing out again. And just to interject here, we got another amazing super chat again from Jody. Again, Jody, thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate this. I'm just going to go off tangent again because I see another chat here that's of interest. So Super 7 has been holding over $200 on a pre-order for over a year. Absolutely outrageous. Anyway, so back to my rants here. So it's looking like the 2 sales that I made on Monday are not going to be followed through with, which means I have to relist. And this has happened a number of times, and especially with auctions, when the buyer who wins the auction doesn't pay, you then relist and it sells for less than it sold for originally, and it's a real bummer. Now, another complaint of mine on eBay, I'm getting a lot of people writing to me saying, oh, your shipping is too high. Well, when I list an item, the way I work is take all the photographs, then package the item, put it in the shipping box, and then mark on the box what that item is. So when I do the listing, I measure, I put in the dimensions, I put in the weight, and eBay calculates the shipping price. I do not calculate the shipping price. I have never calculated shipping price. So when I get assholes coming at me saying, hey, your shipping's too damn high, I'm not buying from you, I'm like, fine, don't buy from me, but do not tell me that my shipping is too high, because I am simply entering the dimensions and the weight, and eBay calculates the shipping price. And for the most part, it's very, very close to what the shipping actually costs. In most instances, I end up making 50 cents to $1 on the shipping, but for the most part, it's bang on. And I'm sick and tired of cheapskates trying to come at me telling me, oh, my shipping's too high. Another problem with eBay is that a single person selling on eBay like me, there is no way in the world I can offer free shipping. And I get people writing to me via question the seller saying, hey, I want to buy the item, but can you give me free shipping? No, I can't. Simple as that. If I were to give free shipping, I would be running at a massive loss, and who wants to do that? Again, it's a bit like where YouTube has been taken over by all the big broadcasting channels and whatnot. They have their own YouTube channels that get millions upon millions of views. Well, it's the same with eBay, where you get the big, massive stores selling on eBay, offering free shipping. And there's no way that someone like me can compete with that. And it's getting to the point where it's getting a bit disheartening now, because for a while, eBay was not only was it a source of income, it was a source of joy. But these past few weeks have been nothing but a damned headache dealing with arseholes and complainers and non-paying bidders. I don't know what goes through people's heads. I mean, I would never dream of clicking buy it now and then not paying, or maybe it's because I know what's involved as being an eBay seller, but just a bit of common courtesy. I mean, do not do that to someone else. But it never ends, and it's getting really, really annoying now. Let's go through a few more comments. So Left Coast Graphics, don't use eBay. Yeah. And that's the thing as well. It's such a convenient way to sell because you do not have to set up your own website. You don't have to set up your own payment system. It's all done for you. But lately, it's been a bit of a headache. This is a long one. Well, I pre-ordered something last year, Black Series Carbonized Boba Fett. Ordered it in the beginning of April, but like an idiot, I pre-ordered it on eBay. That is possible, and arrived late September. Well, I'm going to get to that on my next topic of people on eBay reselling pre-orders. Jody says, next time charge $10 admin charges. Yeah, but probably, I don't know if that's possible on eBay. Need to look into that. Actually, you know what? Because I manually refunded that guy, I should have cut some money for the hassle. But then he would probably complain and eBay would have taken his side. So many reasons to stop using eBay. Yep. For the poor ranking guy, you're entitled to decline and give the previous bidder a second chance. Very true. However, the next highest bidder was a good $10 less than the guy who won. So, you know, it's, again, it ends up me getting screwed for this. You don't have to relist. You can give the previous. Yeah, it's, well, in cases of auctions, yeah, absolutely. But like I said, the next highest bidder is quite a bit lower than the winning bid, and it kind of hurts to have to take less than you were expecting. Don't use eBay shipping as they mark it up. Yeah, to an extent. However, having sent things via the US Postal Service and, of course, UPS and FedEx privately, much of a much, but yeah. It's an option on one of the drop downs on the sold out. Yeah, that's the second chance. Yeah. The Lone Dragon says they got spoiled on that free Amazon shipping. Yeah, very true. Everyone expects it now. And the bottom line is, also, for me, I cannot offer a flat rate shipping fee simply because the cost of me to send something to Connecticut is significantly less than me to send it out to the West Coast. And I've got stung before doing flat rate shipping. We'll never offer that again. So, you know, I always do shipping based on location. And from the Chinese auctions, somehow those guys have, the Chinese auctions are unbelievable. They have, well, obviously a lot of it's fake. But not only is it the Chinese auction, there are other people on eBay who somehow can sell something below retail price and free shipping. And if you're up against, if you have the same item for sale, but you have to charge shipping, you're never going to sell the item. It's just a pain. eBay is now asking me for my passport. Really? Wow. Or is that for ID purposes for the new payment system, which also sucks as well? Kieran Ball says, unfortunately, the world is full of morons, and as an eBay seller, you get most of them ordered. Yeah, very true. I had one email this morning, so I sold something on, today is Wednesday. So I sold something on Monday, printed the shipping label on Monday, dropped it off at the post office yesterday, and the post office are not on top of things as far as scanning things the moment they receive it, because I use a drop box thing. I'll get to that in a moment as well. It's another thing to talk about. So they haven't updated the tracking, and he's on my ass already. Hey, why haven't you sent it yet? I'm like, God, give me a break, man. It's been one day. Carnage 6X. As an international customer, I plead to sellers not to use eBay's global shipping program. It massively overcharges for shipping if you're outside the US. Yes, but as a US-based seller, it's a godsend. Sending things overseas is not that straightforward in terms of filling out all the customs forms. And I understand it is more expensive on the GSP, but as a seller, it's very convenient, shall we say, for me. Now, where are we? I've lost my space. Okay. You are not allowed to sell pre-orders on eBay. Item has to be in hand. Well, you're not allowed to, but it still goes on, and I've actually been faced with that, which is going to be the next topic. Sell on Facebook forums. Yeah, I might actually start doing that, although as someone who hasn't conducted a great deal of business on the forums, I think people would, or how does it work? Because you have friends and family where there are no fees, and is it goods and services where there are fees, but it does come with the protection. So I don't know too much about that, but maybe I'll look into that. eBay sellers for me lately do bid sniping to where when you were the highest bidder in the last few seconds of the auction, they outbid you. This has happened a lot. Maybe not necessarily sellers doing that, because when I buy something in an auction, I jump in at the last second so as not to announce my interest. But I have heard of sellers having a second account to bump up the prices of their items. This is Blue Harvest. What have I missed? Just the BS regarding pre-orders that are made months in the past, and then you get a new bank card, and because the pre-order is not on your mind, you forget to update your bank details with the company that's selling the item, and then they can't charge your bank card and cancel your pre-order. It's just complete BS. China ship via ground, which is almost free anyways. Yeah, and you know what? I did buy. That's a good point. I did get a couple of my Transformers directly from China, and the shipping was remarkably quick. In one case, it was 11 days, and the other one, I think, was 14 days, which was quite stunning, actually. eBay also has to charge. Yeah, that's it. Again, that sucks as well, because it was always the case you would see the item for sale, and maybe they charge shipping, and you knew exactly how much it was going to cost, and you hit buy it now. Whereas now you have to take into account the sales tax. And for me, it's outrageous. It's like 9.25% or something. Hope this rant helps ease the pain, Dean. I have to go now. I'll catch up later. Take care. Well, thanks, Kieran. Thanks for tuning in. I always do flat rate shipping, especially as eBay only allows limited options for shipping costs. I just do a partial refund if the buyer totally overpaid. Well, that's very generous of you. But like I said, for me in America, I've been stung offering flat rate shipping to the point where I've actually lost a big amount of money one time, because I had something that was only a couple of bucks. The item was worth a couple of dollars. It was just me getting rid of something. And I did it with flat rate shipping, and the buyer was on the West Coast, and it ended up, I made a loss, an overall loss, so I'm not going to do that again. We'll always do an additional €2.5 admin cost. Okay, so that covers you, I guess. I'm afraid to sell anything on eBay. Heard way too many stories of people getting refunds saying they never received the item when they clearly did. Yeah, I had someone. Now I used to have an online business where I was doing guitars and basses, but parting them out. Maybe I'll do it again. Only problem is it took up so much space. But I would buy a whole guitar and then sell every individual component. And someone bought. It was a Jackson Flying V guitar body for about $300 or something. and they said they never received it. The tracking number showed it was delivered, so they were either lying or it had been stolen. And when he put in his complaint, eBay took the money from me and held it in escrow until they did their investigation. And thankfully, they saw that the tracking said it had been delivered. So I got my money back. So this person either genuinely lost out or they were lying and got busted. But yeah, as long as you have tracking, that is going to keep you safe when you're selling. George Gloomy, good evening from Germany. Love your channel. Greetings. Oh, thank you so much. Very kind of you. Lone Drink, never ship without tracking. Yep, that's the first rule about shipping is get a tracking number, and that way you're absolutely covered. I've lost my spot again. Oh, and again from Jody. Geez, Jody, thank you so much. It's unbelievable generosity. There was, okay, here we are. I bought a shadow bat on eBay. It was listed 3 days ago. 3 days go by and the seller just refunded me. I said, why put it up for sale in the first place? Yeah, I've heard that as well. People listing things they don't actually have. And even with tracking, no, tracking will keep you safe. Hell, just send things to Canada. Cost like, oh God, tell me about it. I have been appalled at the cost of shipping to Canada. It just so happened that on Patreon, one of my giveaways went to a patron from Canada, and the cost of shipping was eye-watering. I couldn't believe how much it cost. I only use eBay for vintage toys. Yeah. It's always cheaper to physically go to your post office. That is true. However, I don't know how it is in your town, but where I am in Brooklyn, the post office is a nightmare. There are a lot of elderly people living around here who are not obviously computer savvy. So everything they do is done in person. The line is like 20 people deep. And this is what I'm going to rant about regarding the post office. So, or actually, it's not the post office's fault, it's people's fault. So my post office, again, had this massive long line, and I take a lot of packages on a daily basis. So they had a system where they had this door you would open, that they had a door on their side, and you would drop in the packages, and the post office staff from time to time would come and empty those packages. And it always crossed my mind that it was a pretty easy thing that for someone to go in and just start stealing packages. So I always put mine at the very back. So a couple of weeks back, go in with my normal drop-off, and this door is locked. So I start yanking at the door to get their attention, and someone says, come to the window. So I go to the window, and it says, why is the door locked? He says, oh, we had to lock it because people were stealing packages. So I said, so now you're telling me I have to stand in this line every day? He says, no, we have these drop boxes to use. So I've been using those, and for the most part, it's been pretty good. But again, people stealing packages from the post office were absolute scumbags. And it's, I'm never shocked at how low some people will go. But in terms of standing in line to pay in person, I simply could not do that every day, not with 20 pensioners fannying around in front of me. That's not something I want to get involved with. eBay is full of pre-orders. Yep. If people sell pre-order on eBay, just report them. Yeah, I'm not going to say snitches get stitches, but I'm wary of grassing on people, because you never know what they're going to do back to you. I'm also wary of leaving any sort of bad feedback. Unless someone has really, really screwed up, I try to keep things as positive as possible. Do your own live auctions. Yeah, I never thought of that. But the only, the problem with that is with eBay, your items are exposed to the whole world essentially. With a live auction, you're only going to get what, a dozen or so people looking in. But, sold on eBay for about 20 years. Too much BS anymore. Stopped a year ago. Not worth it. Morons and fees. Yep, that's, yeah. The fees are shocking as well, actually. Really are. If I order off someone off a Facebook group, I always ask for PayPal invoices. So if the item never arrives, I can make a claim. Yeah, that's actually a good point, asking for an invoice for a private sale. I stopped using eBay and Etsy several years ago, never looked back. Yeah, Etsy's been pretty good for me when buying Stan Solo stuff. What's this? Cost me $21 to send a Bumblebee small deluxe class figure to a guy in Canada. Cost him $22 to send me 3 regular size Voyager class figs. Yeah, I don't know why it's so expensive. Nils, hello. How's it going? It's good. Hey Nils. Hey Blue. I've pre-ordered Wave 3 Thundercats. They charged me last year, still waiting. So all I can say is make sure your bank card is up to date. You don't want to get screwed like I just did. There's Mark. Evening, Dean. Great to see you live. Hope you're well and enjoying. Yep, certainly am. Thank you. Guten Band. Oh, greetings from the Netherlands. We got Chris Watts. Great to see you back making videos again, Chris. Oh, thanks, Chris. Put a G1 Soundwave on eBay today. Some idiot offered me $10. Yes, another point is I always do buy it now with make an offer. And when I say make an offer, I mean make a sensible offer. I had, let me think what it was. It's probably a sealed mask toy. I had it for, I think it was about $250, buy it now, make an offer. And some twat comes in and offers me $100 for it. And then I obviously hit decline and they get pissed off that the $100 offer was declined. I mean, show a bit of sense. You know, when I often buy things by making an offer, but I don't want to insult the person. What did I get recently? I think it was in fact, it's here. Whoops. It was a Corgi Wonder Woman, and I think they were asking for 45, so I offered 42, and they accepted it. I mean, to me, that's a sensible offer. But yeah, I get a lot of twats trying to lowball me, and then I had one guy. What I did was, I forget the numbers involved, but let's just say, for example, it was for sale for $50. Make an offer, and I got an offer of like $20. So I put a counter offer back of 45. He then counters that with like 22 or something. So I then counter back and I put the full asking price, and then he disappeared. So anyway, it's more expensive for me to ship within Canada than anywhere else in the world. Go figure. Yes. I don't understand. And in the last couple of years, the price of shipping has risen astronomically. It's absolutely horrendous. The Sandalorian Toy Hunter. I deliver mail for the USPS, and our scanners actually have a GPS tracking. Okay. Yeah, it's the same with the Amazon vans and the UPS vans. You can actually see on the map where they are, which is quite useful. Hey, Chris, where in Leeds? That's a bit of German for you there. $11, don't know that. No, Tim. Ain't nobody giving me stitches. Two right. And we got more German. Isn't there something called Mercari? Yes, I've been looking at that actually. Although what I don't like about Mercari is it shows you the items that have sold, and what they sold for. And in some cases, I am absolutely heartbroken. There's been some stunning items that have been sold for ridiculously low prices, and I've missed out on them. So I maybe need to keep on top of that. So what's this? I only sell on my big cartel store and send an invoice. Okay, so sending an invoice sounds good. Mercari is a Japanese company, so it's not in the UK. Etsy is the worst. I quit Etsy, made more money than in a single month. Fees on top of fees on top of converting currency. Never knew that. I bought 3 figures from Big Bad last year. Then lockdown happened, never got them. I lost £135 UK. I had to stop using Big Bad Toy Store. Wow, that sounds like theft to me. Leeds City Centre. Okay, and he's in Morley. Right, on to my next topic, which again is to do with scalping. So my niece in the UK sent me a message on Sunday telling me that she's been collecting Funko Pops relating to, I think it was what the hell is it? I don't watch these things. Marvel, is it Winter Soldier? She's got them all except 2 that are American exclusives. So she asked me if I could help her get these. And she sent me pictures, which I had to, I didn't know what the figure was. It's a black guy, looks to be like a Captain America style costume. Again, forgive my ignorance. I just don't watch Marvel stuff. It's not that I don't like it. I just never got round to it. Anyway, one was a Walmart exclusive and the other was a GameStop exclusive. So having discovered where they were exclusive to, went to walmart.com and looked for this figure. His name was Falcon, if that makes any sense, and found it. I thought, oh, wow, there it is for $10. But on closer inspection, this was the standard version. The one she needs is the exclusive with a different color of costume, and it was nowhere to be found on walmart.com. So, of course, next stop is eBay, and boom, there it is, tons of it, 4 or 5 times retail price. So I thought, great, typical scalpers. So the second one, which was the GameStop exclusive, went to GameStop.com and found it, but it was still at pre-order stage. However, pre-orders were sold out. Again, jump onto eBay, boom, there we go. People are selling the pre-order of this for, again, 4, 5, 6 times the retail price. And it got me thinking. So my niece is 16. She loves Marvel. And I'm going to have to break the news to her that I'm unlikely going to be able to get her these figures she needs for her collection. I can only imagine there are a lot of kids out there who are getting stung by this. And it's absolutely sickening to think that all these companies, their Funkos, your Hasbros, your Mattels, they are, whatever it is they're doing is just feeding this scalper market. I mean, for God's sake, make enough of something. Stop the exclusives and stop this pre-order bullshit. Just make the item, send it to stores, and let the stores sell it. And in terms of online sales, limit the number of items a person can buy. As an example, the Walmart exclusive figure Funko that I'm looking for, one seller had sold over 35 and still had over 10 available. So he's got hold of at least 50 of these exclusives, thereby depriving at least 50 customers of the chance to buy at retail, and is selling them for like 4 or 5 times the retail price. And yeah, we all like to make money. There's nothing wrong with making money. However, when it comes to scalping toys, it's a despicable practice. It really is. So I'm going to keep monitoring these two Funkos, but the chances are I'm going to be in the awkward position of saying, hey, sorry, can't get them for you. And then my niece is ending up with an incomplete collection. And as someone who is somewhat OCD, that would drive me insane to not have a complete collection. It's absolutely shocking. I'm going to go back to the comments here. Jody, to be honest, I'm one that sometimes puts in a lower offer. When you ask 250, I might start with 150 to 175. Haggling should be part of the offer. Yeah, haggling to, yeah, but you got to be, you don't want to insult the seller. If the seller drops 10 euros, I raise 25. Okay. Marvel is better than Star Wars. Interesting. It's funny because having done the search for these Funkos, I logged into Disney Plus to see what I'm missing out on in terms of Marvel. My God, there's a million things to watch. I have a hard enough time finding enough time to do the things I need to do, let alone spending the hours necessary to watch all these Marvel movies and shows. Lost in the mail. Have you raised the case? Never had an issue with Big Bad Toy Store. Okay. Even had it one time where I missed the pickup date at my post office, contacted them, and they resent it after they got it back in their warehouse. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, Big Bad took 3 months to ship to Germany, and when I asked customer support, they basically said that it's my problem. Never again with them. Oh, yeah, and you know what? The funny thing is, like, I've been ranting about pre-orders. I got suckered in on Big Bad Toy Store because when searching for the Mandalorian figures, and of course I placed that pre-order, something popped up showing me Mezco 1966 Batman figures. I thought, well, I've got to have those. So I foolishly made a pre-order there. So that's 2 pre-orders I've got coming my way, but they do have the correct bank card. Action figure expert. Hello, what's up? What's going on? How are you doing? I'm very good, thanks. Hope you're doing well. You will never end human greed. Yep, sadly true. The stock is also retailers' fault because Hasbro sells products to them and they sell it to us. So they also order not enough to meet demand. Yeah, possibly. I'll get back to that. We've got to thank Jody again, Mark III, or did we already thank him? I'm losing track, but it's incredibly generous. Thank you. Yeah, stores not ordering enough. Yeah, but I heard something whereby stores only order 1 case, and if that case sells over the course of 8 weeks or over the course of 5 minutes, they're happy because they've made their sales numbers. Who knows? But I just want to go back to the days of being a kid where you'd walk into a store and there'd be rows upon rows of pegs of figures that you'd have to sift through to find the one you wanted, and you were never left disappointed the way you are today. Sad to hear. I'm from the Netherlands, always got my items and great support. I don't mean to sound devil's advocate, but this is more of a lesson for your niece in being new to collecting. Yeah, but you don't. This idea that you can only get a certain figure from a certain store I think it's disgraceful, especially so for example, just say there was a Star Wars item that I really, really wanted, and it was a Walmart exclusive. There are no Walmarts anywhere close to me. And when you go online, as I've already mentioned, the pre-orders are already sold out in minutes. It's a pretty shitty thing to do, especially young kids who aren't quite as hardened as us. Maybe are pretty upset when they can't get something they really want. Whatever. Anyway, you have to stay on your own research if you plan on being a completist nowadays. Yeah. Again, this is the thing. I'm sure most people at the end of the day, are completists. They like having a full set of something. And when you see something for sale that is impossible for you to purchase, that's not a nice feeling. But anyway, and Blue Harvest says, but it could also make her stop collecting. Yeah, who knows? I did last year mention it to Big Bad Toy Store. It's like non-existence. I was patient due to lockdown. DHL not good, FedEx better. I'm lucky in Leeds. I have 3 Smiths, HMV, Forbidden Planet, and 2 entertainers in the area. But then again, I hardly buy any modern tat. Yeah. What's your views on the Transformers scene these days between official and third party? I'm sick and tired of the Optimus Primes, Starscreams, and Bumblebees out there. I have 0 views on the scene these days because I am strictly vintage. That's the only thing that is of any interest to me. So I know what it is that I want to collect. I'm not getting suckered into these. I'm assuming, is this in reference to the different scales and things and how many different lines there are? Fortunately, not my problem. Went down to Leicester Vintage Toys last week. That was amazing. I hate store exclusives as well as cons exclusives, as the only option for guys like me that are abroad are paying twice, thrice the money. Yeah, precisely. What's the latest one? Okay, because my next topic, or in fact my last topic, is going to be regarding this, which as you can see is still not opened, and we'll explain the reasons for that shortly. But I'm seeing there's a twin pack, which is a Target exclusive, that is, again, impossible to find, but you have to pay 3 or 4 times the retail price on eBay to get one. The retailers got shocked with the sales numbers of the sequel toys after 7 and 8. Now they have the view that it isn't profitable. Well, yeah, but again, whose fault was this? Was it Hasbro for assuming that these characters were going to be popular? I don't know. Certainly, I've had no interest in collecting any. In fact, for me, I'm lucky. I can stick to one thing. So I am strictly original trilogy. I have no interest in prequel trilogy figures or sequel trilogy figures. So I'm all right, Jack. That's the thing. These exclusives are readily available on pegs and over the counter in countries that don't have the likes of Walmart, Kmart, or Target. What's most annoying is that like 3 competing parties bring out the same figure close to each other. So I guess this is in reference to Transformers. So you have to pick between 3 Bruticus's, Superiors, etc. It's all about the scales, lines, and manufacturers. You can't move from all the Primes, Bs, and Screamers out there. Screamers. And especially at masterpiece scale, prices are going through the roof. And I usually go for the most cartoon accurate ones. Yeah, that's a good policy. Now, my last topic is Masters of the Universe Origins. And I'm getting thirsty here. I'm talking too much. 1 second. So, when I went on my first toy hunt in 2 years recently to Target, I was going there with the hope of picking up something Star Wars or Transformers or whatever, and ended up the only thing that was available to me was the He-Man, Skeletor, Panther, Battle Cat, and Prince Adam with the Sky Sled, which I've got all sitting up there. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty cool looking line. I never had Transformers as a kid. This will be a great way for me to build up a nice collection without breaking the bank too much. So I came home with my 5 items, pretty happy with myself. Oops, excuse me. However, upon checking what other figures were available in the line, I quickly discovered that everything I got, with the exception of, I think, Panther, was from wave 1, and we were now up to wave 4, I believe. So there were a ton of figures that I would need to build a collection. However, none of which were available at retail price. They were all on the secondary market, Amazon, resellers, and of course, eBay, even Walmart's resellers. And I thought, the whole point of me starting this collection was to have a hassle-free way of getting into something I never had as a kid, being able to acquire some great figures at a good price. And I realized there and then that wasn't going to happen. So as a result, I'm still sitting on these. I haven't fully made up my mind whether or not I'm going to build a collection of these. And I really want to get my hands on this, but I do not see the point in me opening these only to be disappointed that I can't continue getting the rest of the figures. So what does bother me is that when these were first announced, I guess it was last year sometime, it was said that these were going to be available I think Target had the initial exclusivity, I believe, and after that they were going to be available everywhere. In the case of Toys for Everyone, if you want it, you'll be able to get it. And that clearly is not the case. And it just goes to show you that for me, as someone who very much lives in the past, I think I am going to strictly stick to the vintage stuff, because, you know, vintage and modern have their pros and cons. So with modern figures, the supposed pro is that these will always be available in stores, even though that's not really the case. And you'll be able to continually get new figures, so the collection never ends. There's always the excitement of what's coming next. The downside is you're not able to get hold of these things. You constantly end up having to pay over the odds on eBay. You end up getting your pre-order cancelled. You end up disappointed. You end up with an incomplete collection. So that's the problem. Now, with the vintage stuff, the pro of that is you know exactly what there is to collect, and you have a target in mind. So with Star Wars, you know exactly how many figures were made, how many vehicles and play sets were made. So if you are a completist, you have your list and you can check off as you go, and you know that there will be nothing added to that list. Well, the downside is there will be nothing added to that list. So it's a very cut and dried target you're aiming for. I had hoped that this Masters of the Universe was my way into collecting something modern, but I haven't committed to it yet on either side. And by that I mean whether to collect it or not collect it and just move these on. But it's very disappointing to realize that my excitement lasted all of 5 minutes, put it that way. Even the Wave 1 stuff, like, for example, Man-at-Arms, Evil Lynn, I saw them briefly on Amazon for slightly over retail, maybe $1 or $2. I thought, maybe pick those up. And I sat on it too long, and those got sold out. And again, everything is skyrocketing in price. Now, Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store had some of the Wave 1 and Wave 2s available as a pre-order. But again, given my experience this past couple of weeks with pre-orders, I'm apprehensive about doing that. So, you know, this is what I mean. This whole scene is just a complete farce as far as I'm concerned. If a company makes a product and they want to charge, or they put a suggested retail price of $15 on that product, just make enough of that product, send it to the stores, and let people hand over $15 for it. Don't make it so damn difficult to get hold of things. So let me just catch up on the comments. And there's Matt from Universal. Great chat last Friday. Yeah, it certainly was. Very, very enjoyable. Travels with Jason. Hi. I find up London and in Asda here in the UK a new retro line with Marvel figures. Now the card stock is a lot better than the Star Wars figures and look very good. Yeah, that was another thing with the retro collection. The cards are horrendous, both in appearance and how flimsy the card is. Excuse me. I like the figures. I just don't like the cards. And also with that stupid red sticker that just ruins the whole thing. But anyway. And Matt's saying all his new Origins are still carded. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you had them initially as a kid. Because I didn't. I do want to get my hands on them and play with them. But I just don't know if I'm going to go down that route of collecting them. Very much undecided. And Neil says he wants the Scare Glow, but it costs €35 and that's too much. Well, that's exactly the point. Some of these figures I was looking at on Amazon, I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was the Battle Armor He-Man, which I believe had a retail price of something like $20. They were charging, I think, $60 on Amazon. And I'm not paying 3 times that. Ram Man as well was extortionate on Amazon. I didn't even, in fact, I did quickly look at eBay. I typed in Masters of the Universe Origins, and I sorted the list priced lowest to highest, and there was nothing at or below retail. And when you add in shipping, sales taxes, I think the cheapest I saw was something like 20 odd, something like 22, $23 for a He-Man, which is, $15 in the store plus sales tax. So yeah, not something I'm eagerly wanting to jump into. And no red stickers on the Marvel line. Yeah. When you say it, are these officially listed as Marvel Retro Collection, or is it just another line that they're doing? I'd like to know. I guess I might like to get a Spider-Man if they do that. The retro sticker ruins it. Yeah, absolutely it does. And that fake weathering is just pathetic as well. If they were trying to make it distinguishable from an original, there are so many ways to know that these retro collection figures are not genuine Kenner figures, and not going to fool anybody. No need for that weathering and the stupid sticker. I didn't like Origins due to brighter colors, softer sculpt, ugly head sculpt for He-Man, open mouth Skeletor. Yeah, they are slightly odd looking. But it was just the fact that you were supposedly be able to go into stores and buy these without any hassles, without having to deal with scalpers and everything. But everything gets ruined, doesn't it? So, yes, I think they are. And yes, there's a Spider-Man, and find them also in Disney stores. Interesting. It says here, the Marvel line is touted as retro line, but it's not listed as such anywhere on the packaging. They're quaint. Okay, so they can do, but then are these a copy of something that was released back in the day, or is this just a new line they've done in a retro style and got Kenner on them as well? Okay, so I'm guessing maybe Kenner did these back in the day, and this is just a modern version. That would be interesting. I'd like to look into that. But again, hopefully, if they are of interest to me, I'm not going to end up getting suckered into it where I ended up having to pay a scalper to get a figure I would need. Yeah. So I'm checking my list. I think I've got everything off my chest, which was No copy of original. Also, they're brand new figures, I guess, just done. What are they? 5 points of articulation. They sound pretty cool, actually. Now, another thing I did notice the other day, I was in Walgreens again, and they had some Ghostbuster figures in a box. I've no idea what they were. I was tempted for a second, but again, they only had 2 of the characters. Can't even remember which 2 it was. I thought, you know what? It just seems that collecting modern stuff just brings so many headaches with it. I mean, that's the thing for me when I was pursuing all these G1 Transformers. I had so much fun doing that because I knew they were all out there, and I knew that if I did enough searching, I wouldn't be paying over the odds. And as it was, some of them are knockoff. That's fine with me, and I got the entire wave for a fraction of the price of one genuine, G1. Plus, I had the book. I forget the name of the book. As a reference, I was studying that book and then searching online, and it was a lot of fun. Same with my mask that I've been really getting into lately. It's so much fun researching that after all these decades and tracking them down. And for the most part, unlike Star Wars, they're not overly expensive. So it's all been a great deal of pleasure, in all honesty. Even my Star Wars figure collection, still got a couple to get, but that was a lot of fun tracking those ones down, trying to find the best conditioned ones at the best price. And like I said, with these vintage collections, and I don't mean the vintage collection, I mean vintage collections as in mask, Transformers, etc. You know what it is you need to get, and for the most part, everything is pretty readily available. So I'd hate to be someone who is a completist with this new stuff, knowing going into it you're never going to have a complete collection. That's a real bummer. Chrome froze. In the spirit of vintage Kenner figures of all, okay, so they're in the spirit of retro style. That sounds pretty cool. I know it's not your bag, but have you ever considered building a Gundam model kit? No paint required, as all parts are molded in the colors they should be, and no glue required, as they are snap fit. I've not considered it, but that's something that would interest me, actually. Yeah, I'll need to look into that. In fact, let me just take a note of this. Gundam, I guess, is that the manufacturer? I've seen some model kits on Amazon that were tempting, but they required glue and painting, and I don't really have time for that. Mark Belomo's book. You know what? Belomo, I think, is my Star Wars book. I'm going to say the Transformers book is a Hispanic name, possibly, but don't quote me on that. I live near 4 Walmarts and 3 Targets, but never found Walmart Transformers reissues, Ghostbusters reissues, Origins, G.I. Joe Classified, or NECA cartons. You see, so that's what, 7 stores, and you've never found what you were looking for. Like, what's the point, And of course, all the things you're looking for are there on eBay for 5 times the retail price. In the 80s, Mattel, not Kenner, had the Marvel license. They had a line called Secret Wars. If you wanted actual vintage Marvel, start there. Easy to collect and complete for the most part. Yeah, I'll maybe look into that. Although right now, so my focus right now is wave 2 of Transformers, continuing with Mask, and at some point I'm going to have to look into the Star Wars vehicles that I really want. Obviously, first and foremost, I want to get the ones I had as a kid and the ones I always wanted. I can say straight up, I will never be a completist as far as Star Wars vehicles and playsets are concerned. There's just way too many. And Another thing I'd like to get again would be the $6 million man in Mascotron. But those are kind of pricey. And of course, Action Man, Palitoy Action Man. Again, this is the problem, having grown up in the UK but living in America. It's really hard to get things like Action Man, Action Force, the, what do you call them, the Matchbox and the Corgis. There are some, but not a great deal. Most of them are in the UK and Europe. And the shipping from Europe is just outrageous. In fact, the Spider-Man van, I had to get from Italy, and the shipping was more than the actual van cost. Outrageous. We got here. I can use eBay to see people who live near me scalping those toys. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, now you mention that, I do often do the distance when filtering results. And I've seen people within 5 miles of my location scalping. I don't know, they must travel to New Jersey or something, to Walmart or whatever. Gundam are made by Bandai. Ricky Valers or something similar did those Transformers books. Okay. Alvarez, yeah, I think that's the one. Yep. If you send me pictures of the Funko Pop, I can keep an eye out for it. Oh, thank you for that. That's kind of you. I know there were, I may have the picture on my phone actually. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I don't know how well that's going to come across, but it's these two I need to try and find. One is Walmart. I think the top one is Walmart, and the bottom one is GameStop. But as far as I can tell, the Walmart one has already been released and is sold out at retail, and the GameStop one is at pre-order stage, but pre-orders are sold out. That's the other thing as well. How the hell can you sell out of something before it actually appears? Just take pre-orders and then produce the quantity based on the pre-orders, or is that just too sensible? I don't know. But oh my God, what a joke! Everything is so difficult with modern stuff, and you would think it would be the opposite, right? You would think getting hold of something that was made 40 years ago would be difficult, and something made this year would be easy to get hold of, but it's completely flipped. So, wow, that's an hour and 17. That's more of a rant than I was anticipating. I honestly thought it'd be over in 30 minutes. We had a good number of people here, and again, a huge thank you to Jody for those super chats. That's just incredibly generous. So I'm going to end this because I have a video to make involving something else I got. I'll give a quick preview. This Corgi Shazam I got for 99 cents plus shipping. Never had this as a kid, excuse me, but when I was doing my research for my Batman, Spider-Man stuff, I typed in Corgi superhero and this popped up, and it was an auction, and I was the only bidder. So I've got a video involving this to do later today. And yeah, just glad to get this off my chest because it was really, I was fizzing over that Entertainment Earth business. I really was. And again, just to reiterate, yeah, I made a mistake by not updating my ATM card number. But again, when you're pre-ordering so many months in advance, you can forget quite easily. And for them, for whatever system they're using with their email, the fact that their marketing stuff gets sent to me no problem, and yet important emails go to spam, that's something they should look at. But anyway, just catch up with the remaining comments. The YouTube channel Spectre Creative does a great job of explaining the toy situation. All right, yeah, I've heard of him. Wasn't he the one that, did he not do a Motu figure based on his own face or something? I don't know. Ricky did 4 Transformers books. The 4th one covers everything except the toys that you could possibly think of. Okay. And glad to be of... Oh, again, thank you so much. So, thank you to everyone who has watched. I hope I didn't come off as being too negative. I try not to be too negative, but when things like this happen to me, I have to vent, get it out of my system. So now it's out of my system. I'm like, whatever, never use Entertainment Earth again. See how Big Bad Toy Store does with the stuff I've ordered from them. Maybe they'll be good, maybe they won't be, who knows. And continue looking for the Funko Pops and still give some thought to my Masters of the Universe. Do I go down that rabbit hole or do I get out of it before I even start it? Who knows? But anyway, thank you all for watching. What do I say normally? Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. I'm sure you already have. And stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.